Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will walk you through on how I draft the female pant block. I've been using this method to make pants for my clients and for myself. And at the end of this video, we'll be trying out our pattern. So please stay with me to the end. I'm marking points to draw a green line long enough as the length of my pants. I'll be drafting both the front and the back pattern on the same paper. All measurements and calculations will be on the screen. This line will serve as my waistline for the front pattern. From this line, I will mark my crotch height, which is 10 inches, my knee, 22 inches, and the hem of my trouser, that's the full length of my trouser, 41 inches. I'll go ahead and square out these lines and label it. On the crotch line, I will mark my hip measurement divided by 8 plus half inch is, and for me is 5.6. So I'll mark 5.6 inches on both sides. On this side of the pattern, I will divide the 5.6 by 4 plus 0.25 is, and I will mark this towards my green line, as in I will place my tape at the 5.6 and mark it towards my green line, and I will extend this point to the waistline, and this line will become my center front. Still on the crotch line, I will take this 1.7 that I just marked and I'll add 0.25 is to it. I will mark this on my center front line, and this point now will become my hip level. I will divide these points into two, the 1.7 and the 2 inches. I will divide them into two, and these points will help me to get a perfect front crotch curve. I will go ahead and connect the points. So just watch the way I'm joining the points. On the waistline, I mark my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch dart. For me, it's 9 inches. Then I impute my darts on the green line, half each on both sides, and my dart leg is 4 inches. Then I went ahead to impute the rest of the measurements, my knee and the hem of my pants. My knee is divided by 4 and the hem of my pant is also divided by 4. So I'm marking the measurements on both sides of the pattern. So I'll go ahead and join all points to complete the front block, and then we'll move to the back. For the back pattern, I measured the length as shown in the video. The total length on the crotch line, for me it was 11.25, and then I measured the length from the side of the pants to the center front, and I minus these two. So whatever I get is what I plot on both sides of the pattern on the crotch for the back pattern. I added additional 1 inch to the back crotch because we are longer at the back. I got this tip from this French designer Diane Deziel. She said no matter the size of your pant, you need an extra 1 inch at the back crotch. I'll put the link to her YouTube channel in the description. You can check her channel out, she's very good. On the waistline, I will measure the distance from the green line to the center front line and mark half of this measurement. For me, is 4 inches. So I'll mark half of 4 inches, which is 2 inches, and make a point there. So I will now connect the point from my hip line to the point on the waistline. Sorry, I forgot to indicate my hip line with a straight line. I will connect the 2 lines and extend it up, and this line becomes my center front for the back. To get the rise for our butt or bum bum, I'll refer to our front block. I'll measure these 2 points and divide it by 4. For me, I got 2.37, which I rounded off to 2.4. I'll mark this point 2.4 on this line. From that point, I'll place my tape and tilt it till it touches the waistline of the front pattern. Then I will mark 1/4 of my waist measurement plus 1 inch dart. For me is 9 inches. For the back dart, we'll refer to the front block. You remember we measured 4 inches from the grain line to the center front. So we'll report the same measurement for the back. So on this line, we are going to impute our darts for the back. The length of our dart is 5.5 inches, and then we'll share the 1 inch dart 1/2 inch on both sides of the grain line. And I'll connect the dart legs. So I'm just retracing the lines with a green marker to differentiate the back pattern from the front one. For the knee and the hem of the pant, I added 1 inch on both sides. This side of the pant actually depends on the type of pant you're making, be it a pencil pant or a palazzo. Remember, this is just a block. My main concern is at the crotch area, which is where most of us have challenge in, dealing with excess fabric in the front or the crotch being too short at the back. We'll be trying out this pattern at the end of the video to see if this method of pattern drafting addresses these issues. Here I will extend the line from the knee to the 1.7 that I marked on the back crotch line with a broken line. Remember, we have an extra 1 inch by the side, and I will explain how we'll connect these lines. On the front block, I will measure the line from the crotch line to the knee and minus 0.25 inch. For me is 11.75 inches. The reason is because we curve downwards to the back. Now I'll measure the line on my back pattern and divide it into 3. Mine measured 12 inches. Divide by 3, it will be 4 inches for each line. This will help me connect correctly to the 1 inch on the crotch line, and remember we are connecting 11.75 inches. I placed my tape on the knee line at 11.75 inches. Then I aligned it to the first 4 points and then tilt my tape to the 1 inch till it touches the line, and then I make a point there. I'll connect these 2 lines and then draw in the shape of my back crotch. The seam allowance for the hem of my pant is 1.5 inches, and I'll go ahead and smoothen off all sharp edges. When you measure the distance between these 2 points, it's usually 1/2 inch. On the waistline, I fold in my darts to make sure my waistline is even. I encourage you to do this before cutting out your patterns, otherwise you will have shortage of fabric when you sew in your darts. This overlay is just to give you a closer view of how I'm folding in the darts. I lost the major part of the video when I zoomed in to give you a closer view, so I inserted this overlay to show what I am doing. This overlay was the first video I did, but I lost some major clips. I videoed this tutorial 3 good times, and the best video that had all information had very poor lighting. Just in case you didn't get it right in the first overlay, this second overlay explains it even better, and this was the 3rd best video I did, but with poor lighting. In the overlay, on the side of the waistline for the front and the back pattern, I went up 0.25 inches to even out my waistline. So after folding in my darts, I went up 0.25 inch on the waistline before I even out the lines. This gives the waistline some kind of definition, some feminine definitions to say. I hope this is clear enough, because that's practically all I did for the waistline on our main pattern for this tutorial. If you are in any way confused, please do not hesitate to leave your questions in the comment section. I will go ahead and add my seam allowances, trace out the front block on another paper, and cut out the pattern. Always fold in the seam allowance at the hem of your pants before cutting your pattern block to avoid shortage of fabric. So now that our pattern is all done, we are going to verify our crotch circumferences. We will measure our crotch circumference as shown on the screen, and we will compare it with the crotch circumference on our pattern. The front crotch on my pattern measured 10.75, while my back crotch measured 16.25. As we can see, the crotch circumferences are the same. My crotch circumference is 27 inches and on the pattern is 27 inches. So this pattern is going to give us a good fit. So I'll go ahead and cut out this pant and sew it up. I didn't have much fabric, so I cut just to the knees. I actually texted this pattern in 2 ways. I did another pant block, but that was off camera. And this one I did it without any ease. All those places I added ease on this pattern that is showing on the screen. On this other one I did off camera, I didn't add any of those ease. So this is our pattern all sewn up. For me, this sits very comfortably on my body. The crotch fits me the way I like my pants. The ease is just okay, just perfect. For me, there is no adjustment whatsoever. I'm happy with the pattern. This is the second pattern I did without all the ease. All those places I added ease in the first pattern, I didn't add it in this one. And as you can see, it's very close to the skin, but very comfortable at the crotch area also. Not discomforting at all. So if you're the type that likes skin tight pants, this second one is definitely for you. So that's it for me, guys. If you try out this pattern, please let me know if it works for you in the comment section, or if you make anything using this pattern, please tag me on my Instagram or on Facebook. And if there's anything you didn't understand in the tutorial, do not hesitate to ask in the comment section. And with that, I'll say bye and see you in my next one. A bientôt!